So there's this comment today. Well, I hate me. Why not everyone else? And this is a video. This is a comment on the video about how to stop thinking everyone hates me. And so let's talk a little bit about self-hatred today. The thing is, it's okay for you to hate yourself. It's not like I'm not encouraging you to not hate yourself, right? But I'm just giving you some information about life so that I want you to make the best decision for yourself. If you know all these things and you realize, oh, wait, based on this set of knowledge that I have, the belief that I used to have is not the best belief, then it's good. You made new decisions based on the new data that you have. But if everything in your life is telling you to hate yourself, then you know what? Based on the reality that you live in, that's probably the optimal choice. But while I don't encourage you to really change anything about your life, while I don't encourage you to do anything about your life unless you want to change, here's the reality of hating yourself. Hating yourself is kind of attractive. Why? It sounds weird, but you are playing two roles: the person that hates and the person that receives the hate. I've talked about this in other videos as well. But that's the important part, right? You get to play the powerful person who hates you. You get to play that role like other people. So you kind of join the pack of people who hate you, and you kind of get the experience of what it's like to be the majority. Okay, so that's nice, right? But it just comes at the cost of you feeling bad because you're also the target of the hatred. But now, where does this behavior come from? Where does this pattern of thought come from? This kind of pattern of thought ultimately is learned, right? Because you have to have learned it from somewhere. And what kind of people do you learn it from? It's people who are not probably having a good time. It is from people who are suffering. So you are replicating the pattern of suffering onto yourself. So there is no reality where you can be hating yourself and not be tied to suffering. You may not feel it in the moment, but you're planting the seeds of suffering that you will inevitably reap later. So it again comes from learning the behavior of people who are in suffering. So it has to replicate itself. And the more you do that to yourself, what will inevitably happen? You will pass this hatred onto other people, and you will teach other people who are probably younger than you how to hate themselves. So this loop, right? Ideally, if you hadn't experienced that, I think we can generally agree that that would be the more ideal case, right? Why? Nobody enjoys suffering. Nobody likes to suffer. So if we hadn't learned this pattern at all, then it would have been kind of more beneficial to our lives, at least for the purposes of enjoying it. But because we have learned it, now we practice it onto ourselves, and then we perpetuate it and pass it on to the next generation. So this is the reality of self-hatred. Yes, parts of it feel good because you get to join the pack of people who hate you. You feel powerful. You feel like you're in control of something. So these are all good experiences. These are all like, feelings that feel good to you. But it comes at the cost of suffering. But if that's okay with you, that's fine. You don't need to change anything. But later down the line, when you are seeing the flowers of the seeds that you have planted. And you want to do something about it, because if you don't do anything, chances are you're going to replicate it one more time over and over again. The nice part about this is you can put a stop to this whenever you want. And so at that point, it might make more sense to stop the self-hatred. But for today, if there's no reason for you to stop that self-hatred, you can go on. Life will continue, and you aren't doing anything wrong.